What's up, guys? It's Dirty Yugi from Dirty Yugi and the Boys. Today we have
Austin Hendricks.
Austin. What'd you do today?
I got second at a Galaxy Buster case tournament. My loss was in the finals. I just opened unplayable both games, and that's just how Yu-Gi-Oh is. But overall, the deck performed very well today. I've only played it because I was waiting on my super heavy samurai stuff, but I love this deck and it's a lot of fun, and being able to do good with a deck you really enjoy is just a big upside. Yeah, very fulfilling, especially when it's just like, I don't think this deck is very optimal moving forward, like in the meta game, but it's still a fine rogue deck. Like, it'll still do good at like smaller tournaments and like even still top, like get some fringe tops at bigger tournaments, but I think this is relegated to a rogue deck now.
All right, any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to Galaxy Buster. Shoutouts to Chris for thinking that he 2-0'd me, but I told him we had a game 3 and I cooked him. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to all the homeboys.
And of course, fuck Khalil.
All right,
let's get into it.
Get started. Pretty standard list overall. Got the 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 red, and 1 carrot. I do consider sometimes moving this up to 2 just because of how many hand traps there are.
I was gonna ask because when I was piecing your deck, I only saw one of this, and I'm like, that's kind of just risky because there's no way to really get it back.
It's see, the thing about this deck, basically, you try to go all in and try to win as quick as possible because this deck has no grind game. If you get into a grind game with Kashtira, Pearly, or Super Heavy Samurai, you're getting cooked. So you just put everything out there and try to Gamma Burst OTK them. And then we got this. I drew this card a lot. It is terrible.
Drew it in the finals.
Yeah, I drew this card and this card in the finals.
Hell yeah, bricks, baby.
Yeah, it got me cooked. And let's say for the monsters, pretty much for the engine requirements. And then we get to hand traps. Nib. I think this is the best hand trap in the game right now because especially when you're playing these like 18 hand trap piles, it combos with like anything. Like your opponent is not playing through this plus another like low impact and another like ogre or a gamma or even ash or like an imperm are like just like crazy in combination with this. Like I think if you're playing a hand trap pile, you have to play this card. And then ash. This is kind of like the extremes of the spectrum. Because like I think this card is insane, but this card is like fucking unplayable in most scenarios, except for against like Despia. But you can't just play it because it's a hand trap pile and you play up to 18, and it's just like another thing to stop your opponent.
Yeah.
And then best hand trap of the format with Nib, and that's it. That's gonna be it. You really just don't.
9?
Yeah. I have. These are part of
yeah.
monster guys.
That makes sense.
Oh wait, did you guys take out Gamma? Or sorry. I made that Gamma as well. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this.
See, okay.
Like these 9, I think are just like undeniably mandatory in this format, and these 3 you can like are hit or miss.
Yeah. This in theory you can play against anything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of medium to low impact.
Yeah,
whereas
it's very
these
medium
are all
impact. Like I side this out a lot, especially against like super heavy samurai, because it just never feels like it's gonna
because
do
their
enough.
cards don't say once per turn.
Yeah, and then that's it for the monster hand traps. But then we got 3 imperms.
3 imperms.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's like I like imperm a lot because it combos well with Gamma and Nib, and I feel like it's more impactful than Ash. That's it for the hand traps.
Would you have considered playing other cards like Valor, DD Crow, or like Mourner or anything like that?
Not that big of a fan of Valor, but I did think about siding Crow because it seems pretty good in the super heavy samurai matchup, and maybe Bell has some like overlaps against like Kashtira and like a Pearly deck. So I mean it's something to mess with for sure. Yeah. These for consistency cards, even though I bricked on them a couple times today, that's fine. But you just have to play this card because you only have 3 starter, and like the rest of your deck is like 1.5 card combos, and you just have to like get to that second piece a lot. So this card's just mandatory. And then like you don't play like the live twin stuff because like those cards are awful. So yeah, this just and this just lets you see 6. Like seeing 6 like of like a side deck card, or like getting like an extra hand trap, or like starting your plays is just too good not to play. And then got these cards. Best card in the deck by far. Talents, because I built this deck very quickly.
So it's just a one-off?
Yeah, and I just threw it together. And well, I didn't want to play like just a random hand trap because I felt like it'd just be less impactful than drawing this. This was okay when I drew it. I only drew it twice. It was okay. And then these are hard bricks, but hard drawing this actually won me my top 4 match because I got like triple hand traps, but I just still Gamma Burst through it. And this card is like terrible in every single way except for when you full combo. But like you have to play it because this deck is just very weak to interruptions now, and it's just another in-engine thing. And I don't play Smashers because Smashers is a neg one, and that card is never getting value out of, like in the Kashtira matchup. And then Super Heavy Samurai also has like some like gimmicky plays they can do, but that doesn't really matter. But anyway, just like against Kashtira, Smashers is just an unplayable card.
Okay. Is that 40 in the main?
Yeah, that's 40. And then for the extra deck, got some standard stuff. 2 gigantic, pretty Xyz, and we got Gin Buster. I actually made this card quite a bit today. It was pretty good. I usually never make this card, but for some reason today I was like, it just came up where I was able to make it. Have to play this for the Melfi engine because it's just another negate, and Herald is just really good this format. I never really summon like the Mary Melfis, honestly. Like it does come up sometimes, but honestly you could probably cut this. And then this is just good for OTKs.
VOTK.
Yeah. And this is also good for OTKs because you just clear their monsters, or you like another big thing is that you'll nib them, and then you'll banish their token, and they just never get their token back because that's just how game mechanics work. And then we got, for the rest of the Xyz, we got 2 Zeus.
Is it Zeus's or Zeus's?
Zeus. I don't know. 2 Zeus and a downer. Gotta play 2 Zeus for Kashtira.
Yeah.
Because this is kind of just like your win con a lot of the time. Because like, even though you'll be able to play with like your engine, like starter and stuff, that doesn't actually out the board. So like, you have to like go into this and then get to starter and then start your plays, because if you just start with like if you don't get rid of their board, you're dying every time. So this is just like mandatory at 2, I think. And then 2 Spright. This is also just mandatory just because of Kashtira, but the second one rarely actually comes up in any other matchup. Link 2s. This should be Unicorn. I was just testing it out, and this was just kind of easier to make in like weird scenarios where you draw Angler and like just there's like a lot of like random background. It's easier to make when you're like actually playing the game, but Unicorn is definitely just the better card when you like set up a board to link into. But I mean that's what testing is for. You live and you learn. And then 2 synchros for the Melfi package. I like almost never summon this, but you could definitely cut this, but this is mandatory for the Melfi package.
For sure.
That's it for the extra. For the side, got 3 Kurikara. This card just like, it just shits on like pretty much everything. Pretty much is like if you hand trap your opponents into mediocre boards and you're able to just do this and like get rid of like their last like couple guys, like because like things like Appaloosa can be like very hard for this deck to deal with, and you just eat one, you just knock it out, and it also just auto wins against a Pearly deck, and is very good against a Rise Heart Pass as well. Got 3 Bestials. I did just 3 because I didn't really have any room for anything else, and Magnum is obviously the best one, and then Jewel's Horn has the extra bonus effect that doesn't have any extra things that you need to have it go off. Like Ball Drake, you need an extra light or dark monster to banish your opponent's monster. These just function like completely on their own, and they're just generically good cards against just like any rogue deck that you could see. And then got 3 Contact Seed. This card is just insane against like Despia, Pearly, various other rogue decks. It is very bad into Super Heavy Samurai, so the side deck could definitely be a little bit more well-rounded, but for like small locals tournaments, this is definitely fine. Like, we got 2 Anti-Spell and a Red Lotus. This should probably be a 3rd Anti-Spell. Just testing pretty much. Anti-Spell just seems very good right now. It just puts them on have the out, like have the Fenrir. And if they don't, like Super Heavy Samurai, they're just down bad. And it's also very good against Pearly. It shuts down the whole Pearly deck, and it shuts down a huge chunk of the Kashtira stuff. And Cosmic kind of functions in the same way as Anti-Spell sometimes, especially against Super Heavy Samurai and Kashtira, because you like Cosmic their Birth, or you Cosmic their Prodigy, and it just puts them in like such a bad spot. But anyway, that's it.
Alright, are there any last minute changes you would make to the deck?
I would definitely make the side deck a little bit more optimal. Maybe just find different things for these 6 cards right here.
Okay.
Just test different things, but everything else.
You think these 9 are the correct way to go?
Yeah, I think so too. I think you probably should be playing Bestials in some form, because I think the Bestials are just very good, and they're also just very good. They're just very good against like Math Mech. It's like, and just like a lot of bad decks that just like hand trap you to death. And these cards just like in grind games, like they're losing out on card advantage by hand trapping you, and then you're hand trapping them back, but you're sticking a body, so they're just like going neg infinite in the grind game.
That's fair. Alright. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, just shout outs to everyone. Shout outs to Galaxy. Shout outs to everyone I played today. It was a fun tournament.
Shout out to Alex being a dad in 9 months.
Yeah, shout out to Alex being a dad in 9 months. Shout outs to Dirty Yugi and the boys for giving me a profile.
Hey.
Alright.
Alright, I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.